this morning is Simon McGovern. If you just stand to your feet, give Simon a welcome.
Right. I got a word there 2 weeks ago. We were singing that song, Our Father, and it was on heaven. And the word that I got was that our view of heaven is actually wrong. That what we see, a lot of people that are here, like media and everyone else tells us that heaven is a lot of clouds that we sit and we play our harp or we sing to or play our trumpet and we sit around and for 10,000 years that's all we do. We sit around in clouds and get bored and we do it again. And I really felt that that's just not right. Like, that's not of God. That's not what heaven is. Heaven is actually what we're made for. That's what we start off as. That's what we're actually for. So next slide here is one here for Annette, because it's such a big topic. So I said that no eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind can comprehend what God has prepared for those who love Him. But God has revealed it to us by His Spirit. And so that's my covering for why I get something wrong. But I think generally speaking, everything that I've said is biblical. There's like dimensions in here, and there's actual descriptions of heaven in here, and it's all from the Bible. I haven't like made stuff up, just because it is that incredible. All right, now I'm going to go with a couple of different sources for the next to describe it. I'm going to talk about Eden. I'm going to talk about the anti-hell. I felt that heaven was too small a topic to talk in 7 minutes, so I decided to talk about hell as well. And then I'm going to talk about the throne room of God in heaven, and then the New Jerusalem. Okay, so we start off at Eden, and if I run quickly, I'm sorry. All right, this is based on Genesis 1 and 2, and it was the original intent for man. It was what and it was originally what we were made for. It was what we were designed for. We were created when God seen that heaven and the earth, and He wanted us there. There was provision for us. We don't need to worry about how we're going to feed ourselves in heaven. It's going to be there in the same way as it was in the Eden, that you just pick the fruit from the tree. It's just there for us. The provision's there. But we'll be given a mission as well. We're not going to be just sitting around bored. We actually, in the same way as we are in Eden, we were given the decree to go and conquer the earth. We were go and actually subdue the earth is actually the word that it's used. So we were actually given a mission. And that mission wasn't just a boring, it was an adventure that we were created for. We were created for excitement, we were created for something exciting, and so it's the same thing that's going to be in heaven. Now the second bit I'm going to talk about is the anti-hell. So in Luke 16 there's a description of hell, and it's about Lazarus, he was a poor man, and the rich man. And the rich man gets sent to hell, and he's looking up at Abraham and Lazarus, and he's in suffering, and it's a desolate place, and there's no water for him to drink, and he's asking for water and that. But the biggest thing about hell is actually the separation. That is what hell is. The separation from God. That he can actually see heaven. He can see that God is real. He can see the people that are there in community, and He's there in separation. And if you ever wonder why hell is there, and if that's a question that a lot of Christians even ask, is God, we asked for it, in a sense. We told God that we don't want to live under His rule. We don't want to live in a determined world that God has said, this is what I want. So God has given us a place that is for us if we don't want to be part of it, which is hell. It's the separation of the greatness and the wonderful and the amazing thing that is God. That is hell. This is the separation of community, because that's heaven. That's what we're designed for. Amen. So, that's just a quick one on hell. There's a lot more on that, obviously. So, next one is the throne room. John was sent in Revelations 4. John gets a vision of heaven. Oh man, this place is crazy. There's the throne room of heaven, the throne room, right? So there's a throne which is made out of jasper and ruby. Jasper in ancient times was kind of like think emerald. It's kind of look to it. So it's a seat made out of emeralds and rubies. That's what it actually is. But God doesn't really have a physical form, so who knows what it's going to look like. It's not going to be a big giant man with a white beard that you see in The Simpsons. It's not. But it could be like a pillar of smoke. It could be anything. I can't describe what heaven is because what God's going to look like, because who knows. Then there's going to be rainbows there. Someone find me afterwards if you want to know about that, because I could tell you for another 2 hours on about the incredibleness that there's going to be rainbow there. There's going to be thunder and lightning going on. And then apart from all that, there's like these 4 creatures that have like wings all over the place, and they've got eyes all over the place. And there's like an ox and a human looking one, and there's a lion and there's an eagle. Right? The incredible thing that the eyes is, like they look upon earth and they look upon heaven. They have eyes of both front and back. And the incredible thing that is, they look upon the things that God does in our lives, and the things that God does in heaven, and the things that God is. He's looking forwards and backwards. And every time they see it, they fall on their knees and go, holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty. That's how incredible God is. It's not something that they do because they feel obliged to it. They do it because they react. And it's the same again with, there's 24 elders and they throw down their crowns. Alright, move on quickly. The New Jerusalem. This is a place. This is described in the Bible. It's in Revelations 21 and 22. Now, this place is huge. It's 1,400 miles. That's from here to St. Petersburg. Right? And that's length, width, and height. This thing makes New York look like a joke. It is massive. So, then the walls of the city is 200 feet thick. Again, made of this emerald city kind of looking jasper. And then apart from that, there's 12 doors, 3 doors on each side. Each door is a pearl, a single pearl, not the pearly gates that are like gold with little bits of pearl on. They are a single pearl. There's a 200-foot high, presumably 200-foot deep pearl. This thing is mad. And then just for fun, God creates the foundations out of precious stones in the shape of a rainbow or a colour of a rainbow, just for fun, you know. And then the walls inside are made out of gold, and basically the point of that is, I think that God's trying to say to you, the things that we search for, the things we strive for, the things we long for in this earth will become the things you walk on. They're just meaningless. All right, so moving on a bit more, the New Jerusalem is so big that this earth couldn't hold it. If we had a world this big, a city this big on this planet, it would spin off its axis. It's that big. So the new earth is going to have to be bigger. Simple. So it's not going to be a place of desolation anymore. It's going to be a place of mountains and rivers, because they're described. The river of life actually just runs straight through the city, just for fun. But it also says there's going to be a new heaven as well. If you want to know why it's not like heaven as in spiritual heaven, it's actually the sky, the stars. God, that our hermeneutics class will describe it to you. But it's a new star system, a new solar system is going to be created. So we'll actually be able to see new stars and new different things. So God is going to create a place for you. It's going to be a new city, a new county, a new country, or maybe a new planet, because you'll be able to travel like we never been able to travel before, because we'll have the body, a new body. So we can put that one. Excellent. Right, I'll go back to that. So we'll have perfect community. And again, if you want to have community on earth, the best way that I've found to do it is something like the life that you can get to know people really deeply. But that's like 3 people. Imagine being in a community that you can actually get to know everyone. Like Abraham and Moses were on the mount, but they all knew each other, because everyone will know each other deeply in a way that we can't know each other now, because we'll have a new body, a new thing. So with our new body, we'll have no more sickness, no more tears, no more fear, because there's nothing left to fear. And with these new bodies and new things, we'll actually do things. We'll actually serve God. We will serve God face to face, as it describes. So like, that's an incredible thing. We'll be going to a banquet and handing Jesus' supper. Amazing. But we'll probably have other jobs as well, because we'll all want that job, really, in fairness. So, we'll have to have other jobs. We'll have to go subdue the new earth and the new heaven. So, and then put in one for Noel there. Noel, he often says that every time he goes on a long journey, he prays for to be able to be teleported. There you go, Noel. In the new heaven, you'll be able to teleport. Because we'll have the body of Jesus and the body of Jesus teleport. The resurrected body of Jesus teleports. Just a little one there to throw in. Right, the last page. I asked one time I got this revelation. I was talking to Bob Michael, and I was like, man, this place is incredible. And Bob Michael's, after me going on for about half an hour or more, talking about how amazing this place is, his first reaction was, who does the plumbing? Like, this place is so amazing, so incredible, but like, we can't do anything else. We only know a fraction of what happens. Praise the Lord.